Okay, so before I begin, I would like to thank you all for joining in today. So we all know the meeting etiquette. So I kindly request you to uh, mute your microphones, and if you have any questions, you can definitely ping at that in the chat box. And then we definitely have a lot of time for questions at the end of the session. All right, so let's begin. I'll begin by sharing my screen. Yeah, and I hope my this PPT is visible to everyone. Madhun, can you please confirm?
Yeah, we can see your presentation now. Yes.
Okay. So hi
Should
everyone.
we
Once
just
again.
give a minute for others to join, Mir? Do you think people are joining now, or do you think like should we give a minute still for others to join?
Um, okay, I think we are already 2 minutes past the time, so I think we'll just continue.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
So I
please.
think yeah. So most of them are here, so I'll just continue. All right. So now I hope the screen is visible. Now, so the course we are talking about today is Excel VBA for beginners. All right, so it is co-hosted by MIPSTEC. MIPSTEC is an electronics company based out in Bangalore. So this course is conducted by them, and I'll be your trainer for this course. All right, and as you can see over here, VBA stands for Microsoft Visual Basic for Applications. So, so what I'll be covering the next 1 hour is I'll be giving you a brief intro about what VBA is, and I'll show you one example to as in the simplest way to implement VBA, that is recording a macro, and then I'll cover an example and a user-defined function. And this is a takeaway that you'll have from today's session. That is, I'll be showing you a flowchart where by using that flowchart and that methodology, anybody can come up with a simple VBA solution. And then at the end, I'll be definitely speaking about my course contents and its schedule. Speaking about myself, I have 10 years of industrial experience in design and analysis of aircraft structures. I'm basically an aerospace engineer, but I have handled automation projects in engineering domain as well as project management roles. Um, and I'm proficient in Excel VBA as well as Python. Uh, and I've worked with companies such as Atkins, Access Cadis, and I've also given some training in at Tata Global Special Engineering Division. And I am registered as an incorporated engineer with Engineering Council UK, and I'm a member of Institution of Mechanical Engineers. So that's my professional profile. Now coming to what VBA is. As I told you earlier, VBA stands for Visual Basic for Applications. Visual Basic for Application is Microsoft's language for especially for Microsoft Office. So now there is a slight difference between what Visual Basic is and what Visual Basic for Application is. Visual Basic Visual Basic is a programming language that is standalone in itself and can be used to create executables in Windows, like you see in your normal Windows application. That okay, just a minute. I think somebody has joined in. Okay, okay, sorry. So Visual Basic, I mean, you must have seen those .exe files, executable files. So Visual Basic is used for that. Keeping that same base, the same platform, what Microsoft has done is they have integrated that Visual Basic with Microsoft Office applications, that is Word, Excel, Access, and all the other Visio, PowerPoint, etc. And the same Visual Basic has been implemented in a few engineering software such as AutoCAD, CATIA, and few general softwares like SAP. Uh, and uh, so I think that these other 2 points are already covered. I'll go to the next slide. Now, why do we need VBA? VBA is used to automate repetitive tasks. For example, you do if one person comes to the office and he works for a business, and at the end of the day he's supposed to produce he's supposed to report the amount of business that has taken place, the amount of sales that have gone through. So every day he has to open his application and see as in how much of sales has happened, and how much of income has been generated, and he does the same thing again and again every day. So what can VBA do for such a person? So what can VBA do is, well, VBA can automate whatever he's doing, such that he just has to come to the office, and at the end of the day, instead of sitting and doing all those tasks manually, repetitive, the same task manually every day, he can just invest some time, he can write some code, and he can automate that calculation, so that the values, the revenue is and the revenue report is generated, the sales report is generated, and it is sent to the respective stakeholders. So VB is used in such applications. And one more thing about VBA is we can create user defined functions. Now, what are user defined functions? User defined functions are so for let us first understand what functions are. Functions, if you have used Excel before, you must have used various simple functions like square root or average or sum of this cell to that cell. You must have written equal to sum a1 colon a5. So that is Excel defined function. You can create an user defined function that will suit your business application, or that will suit and cater to your needs. So we can do that using VBA. So we can we'll have the code in the VBA editor, but you can directly call that function in Excel. All right, and the third application of VBA is you can interact with other Windows programs, such as you can there are some engineering softwares like MATLAB, MathCAD, and SAP is again CRM software, Outlook, Python, and this is just an example. But using Excel and VBA as a base, you can interact with all the other programs to send data, to import data, to execute few things. So there are a lot of things that you can do. And by implementing VBA, you will definitely reduce your turnaround time. Remember the first example that I gave you, that a person comes to office every day, sits for 1 or 2 hours to generate the sales report, the revenue report. For him, he just has to press a button every day, and maybe just 5 to 10 few minutes just to review whatever report that has been generated. So instead of spending 2 hours, you'll just spend some 5 to 10 minutes, that too just reviewing the report. So his actual domain knowledge comes into the play at that time. He doesn't have to do the manual task. All the manual tasks will be taken care by the computer. And we can also we can also protect the workbooks and hide the worksheets. For example, if we are if we have a number of suppliers working for us, and we are expecting some output from those suppliers, so what we do, we just give them a few worksheets, and if we just code them and protect them with a password, they won't be able to edit anything in that spreadsheet. So that will be safe. Your business function will remain safe, as well as there won't be any mistakes due to editing, I mean, by mistake. All right. So now coming to the next thing. Now we'll just jump into VBA and we'll discuss about what objects are. See, VBA is an object-oriented programming language. For those people who don't know, haven't studied programming, see, object-based programming languages can be related to objects in real life, such as you take an example of a car or you take an example of a building. Now, if I'm talking about a building is an object. Now, the properties of the building can be defined by the dimensions of the building, like the height of the building, the width of the building, and what kind of a building it is, how many floors it is. So all those are properties, and the events can be defined as a person entering the building and going outside the building. So he opens the door, enters the building, closes the door, goes out of the building. So those are all the events that happen with that particular building. And your building is an object. Similarly, we can take other examples like Apple. Apple is an object. So we know the Apple come in different shapes and sizes and texture. So based on those attributes of an apple, we can define an apple, such as weight, the size, dimension, color, so many things. So now, how does that relate to our VBA? Because we are calling VBA as an object-based programming language. So here we have many objects. For example, worksheet. Your sheet is an object. All right. So your worksheet is an object, and that has a lot of properties in itself. It has its name, and it has other properties. And there are a lot of methods that we can perform. We can create new worksheets, we can open new worksheets, and we can do some events. We can clear contents on a worksheet. So those are all the events. So what we do is VBA, we call those objects, and then we perform whatever task we want to do with objects. So that is the meaning of object-based programming language. Now, so here I'll go in a bit of a depth here. So as I was speaking about the attributes, when I taken the example of a building, such as the building height, the building number of floors in the building. So properties are the physical characters of the objects. For example, worksheets. So I can count the number of worksheets in a workbook. So for all the people who have used Excel before, they know that there are a number of worksheets contained in a workbook. So worksheets dot count. So worksheet is your object, count is your property. So we just have to type in this whatever is in italics. Can we have to type in this? So this will return this particular object dot property will return the number of worksheets in that particular workbook. And that if I want the one particular worksheet to be visible, what I do is I'll give it as true. If I want it to be hidden, I'll give it as false. All right. And then now coming to the methods. So methods are actions that have to be performed by the objects or on the objects. For example, see worksheets, we can add a new worksheet and we can delete that particular worksheet. So we are performing some actions on the worksheet. So these are methods. And we have events for worksheet. For example, clicking of a mouse. If I click on a mouse, that action can be recorded and replicated. Double click on a cell, saving a workbook. So these are all the events that can be performed. So this is something, the whole object attributes have been described in a nutshell for you by taking the example of the object worksheet. So worksheet has a property, a method, and an event. All right, so this is something I have. So if you have any questions, you can definitely take it at the end. Now I'll go to the demonstration. I'll demonstrate recording of how a recording of macro works. Macro is just a name for VBA. VBA can be Excel VBA is the same thing as Excel macro. So I'll show you as in how a macro recording is done. So I'll just a minute. I'll just share the Excel sheet. All right. I hope this Excel sheet is visible now. All right. So now we have seen this Excel. So this is Office 365 version. Uh, so there is a slight difference. If for all the people who have Excel, they all know that what is the difference between different versions of Excel. So the version that I'm using is Office 365. So the first thing while doing recording is macro recording is an automated function by Excel wherein for you. You don't have to write any code. All right. So if you just by using the recording option, we can generate code. So now I'll give you an example, a simple example. So the first thing that you have to do is you'll have to go to File and then go to Options. So here go to Customize ribbon, and then you'll have to enable this developer mode. By default, this would have been disabled in your systems. So you'll have to enable this developer mode to be able to record macros and work on Excel VBA. I think this is the first step that we have to follow. All right. So I think once we do this, because it's already enabled, I just have to click on OK. And there's another setting. Sorry. Go to options again, and then press enter settings. So here we'll have to give permissions to enable the macro so that it can function. So here I've enabled all macros, and we have to be very careful over here because here it tells not recommended, potentially dangerous code can run. Yeah, this is true. This can happen if you're just downloading one particular any file from the internet, and if that has some dangerous code, so that will definitely ruin your system. It has enough potential. Excel VBA and macros are so powerful that malicious code can easily get in. In simple words, I mean there's a virus that can come in. So by default, this would have been disabled. But if you have to work on macros, then we'll have to enable this and trust access to the VBA project object model because we are developers, so we would need access to this. So just give OK. So now what I'll do is, so I think most of them are aware as in what are all the tabs over here that we have: home, insert, draw. So these are all standard Excel functions, and I'm expecting I think everybody should know at least basic. They should have a basic understanding of Excel to be able to understand what we'll be learning from this course. So what we'll do is we'll go to the developer tab. So here we will see that we have a lot of options here, and right now we are interested in recording a macro. So what we'll do is we will click on record macro option here, and I'll just give a name, macro name. So I'll just be changing some colors here, and I'll save this in this workbook. Okay, and here we can give a shortcut key, but I usually don't prefer that, but you can definitely give a shortcut key. So now this is enabled the recording. See, the macro has started recording. So what I'll do is I'll just be changing the colors of few cells here. I'll change this to yellow. This one is yellow, and then I'll make this as black. So this is a very simple operation. And then I'll go back to the developer tab, and I'll click on stop recording. So now the macro has stopped recording and the code has generated. Now to see what code has been generated, we'll have to click on, okay, we can quickly view if the macro has been saved or not. Now if you see, there is this macro color box, which I have just recorded. So we can just click on this macro and click on edit. So if I click on edit, it will open up the Visual Basic editor, or else we can go to click on Visual Basic, and it will open up an editor. Uh, so can you just confirm if you're able to see the editor with the code in it? Magdum, can you please confirm if you're able to see some code?
No, still we can see the same colors actually, yellow and
Okay,
black.
okay. I'll just change. All right. Okay, I'll just share my complete screen here. All right, I hope you can see everything now. Okay, so now we have what you have done just now is we have recorded a macro and named it color box. I'll just minimize this. All right, so what happens if I run this macro? All right, I'll open a new sheet, and what I'll do is I'll try and run this code. Minimize it here. So we can see there's some code that has been generated. It doesn't really matter if you don't understand this code because that is the whole purpose of the course. So now, right now, we'll just try to perform some basic functions. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just run. There's a shortcut F5 for running, or you can just click on this and see is in what action Excel does. Now, if you see, Excel has just color coded here in sheet 6. Now, what I'll do is I'll open another sheet 7, and then I'll repeat the same operation. See, Excel does just repeats whatever action has been recorded. So here, what is doing is just to give you an overview of the code. So this is the Visual Basic Editor window, and these are the modules that we have, and these are the worksheets that we have in this particular workbook. All right, and this is the Visual Basic. This is the editor window, and this is the immediate output tab. Let's not worry about that. But here you can see uh, there is a code generated called sub color box. So this is the basic syntax. You just start with sub and end sub. So if you're, if I give a new sub here, give enter, it will automatically, generate an end sub. So this is the basic syntax. You start with sub and you have to end the sub. Okay. So what this code is doing is it is selecting range F4. So range is an object here. It is selecting. It's performing an event. So F4. It's selecting F4 of this cell here, and after it has selected that, it is trying to assign a color. It is assigning this color number 65535, and these are the properties of that cell. So these are really not that important, but and these are just if you see, we have this dot. So this is how an object-oriented programming language works. So you first select the object, and then you select the properties, and then you can define the events that has to go through. All right. So after it is selected F4, then I select E6. So E6 comes here, you see, and then it assigns a color. Then it selects F8. That is what I had done while recording F8. Then it assigns this color, and then it comes to G6. G6 is this, and it assigns the same color, and it comes back to F6 where it gives a different color. Now, if you see, there is a different thing. It is selected as theme color. Okay. So now what, just to, experiment, what I'll do is I'll just change this from, maybe I'll just give some other, random value where Excel will should, pick a color. Right. So I'll just make this 500 and I'll make this 500 too. And let's see how Excel behaves in a new sheet. Now you see, I gave 500. 500 stands for approximately, it is a red color. It picks color from the color palette, and the color palette has unique numbers. So because I just changed the color here, it has changed the color here. All right, now if I just give this as 600, let's see what color it gives. So now it has selected a brown color in cell E6. All right, so it is quite simple. I mean, I'm trying to give you a very simple example so that you can comprehend and understand, as in how this works, how Excel VBA actually works. So once we have this, if we have sufficient knowledge, then we can do advanced stuff using this knowledge that we learn. All right, I hope this concept is clear. Now I'll just move on to the just give it like this. Cube root not to conflict with the original functions. No, here you see I've give a function and then automatically this has come up. Okay, so now what I'll just take a value, and what I'll do is I'll give so my objective is to give a cube root. So by this I think I should be getting my cube root out. So what I'll do is I will define my own function now. User defined, sorry, my own sub. Temp. What I'll do is I'll just call this function in this. So now I have a value. All right, so maybe I'll call it as what 64. Okay, sorry, I cannot use this input. This is just my variable name, and what I'll do is I'll just pass this variable name there, and message box. I'll write here. I'll over here. I'll write the name of the function, and I'll have to pass this value. All right. So by this sub, I think I should be getting the cube root of 64. So let us run this function and see what we'll get. Thanks. The cube root is. There's a message. Okay, somebody has joined. Okay, just a minute. Okay, here I made a mistake. 4 is a cube root because I had forgotten to give this parenthesis. So that's the reason it gave me a wrong value last time. But again, I mean, you can just change values. Now, if I want the cube root of 9, it is 2.08. It is 6134. All right. So now. Right, so now we have seen as in how to define a subroutine and how to define user-defined function. All right, so now let's discuss, as I had promised you to show you a methodology which you can use to formulate a VBA solution. Okay, so now what do we do? If we have a problem, we now have a problem, and we know that we have to use VBA to get a solution for that. So the first and foremost thing is to define the problem statement. What are you expecting, and what are your expected inputs? What are your expected outputs? So once you have those, your problem statement will be defined, and you have to see if you will be able to achieve that by Excel formulae, by using advanced Excel formulae using VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, or conditional formatting, or index match. There's so many advanced methods that we use. If it is possible Excel formulae, I think you should go ahead with the Excel formulae and finish the solution. If you think that is not possible by Excel formulae, then we have to do it using VBA. And we also have to see if this is something repeated. There is no fun in doing, if you are supposed to or expected to perform a task just once, uh, or very rarely. There's no fun of doing it by VBA, because you will be spending more time in coding and trying to come up with a solution using VBA than the problem itself. But if you're doing it, very there's some you're coming across the problem occasionally, or if it is a repetitive problem, then you definitely have to go for VBA. So these are the steps that I personally follow. What you have to do is you have to break down the steps required to achieve the task. So we now know what our problem is. So now what I'll do is I will try to write down a quick, a rough sketch of the tasks that are required. All right, I will break it down. I'll break down the task, and I will try to give it in terms of an algorithm. And in step 1, step 2, step 3. Fine, step 1 I'll do this, step 2 I'll do that, and step 3 I will come up with a solution. And then with these steps, we have defined a problem into small problems now. Those small problems we should be able to record macros for each step. So by doing this recording a macro, what will we get? We will get the most important part. We will get the hardline code. All right. So once we record the macros, we will get hardline code. Now, using that hardline code, we will have to modify or utilize our code into our. We'll have to convert that into a program using programming loops and all the other programming concepts. But your major task is solved. Your major problem is solved of getting the code out. So if you're recording the macros for each and every small steps, then you will definitely get through the baseline syntax. And yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell: connecting the baseline syntax with steps with programming knowledge, and then you will definitely come up with your final solution. So basically, this course will help you, achieving this right
Thanks for the demo session. It was very informative. Hope it's very useful for others as well. I think.
Okay, no, Magdum,
Yeah.
I would like to just quickly, close the session. So there's only one slide left.
Okay.
Okay, so now I was talking about the course content. So I will be covering, all these features in the beginner's course. These are very much essential for working on Excel VBA. Sorry, I didn't share my slide. I'm very sorry. Okay, I think, yeah, you can see my slide now. So I will be covering all these basic points. So it doesn't really matter if you have programming knowledge or not, but I would expect you to have some basic Excel knowledge. Okay, so that is so this is the course content which I will help you get through. Okay, so now coming to the course cost, because we were actually introducing this course here. So the cost has been decided. It's very much competitive, and it has been decided just to retain your interest, because I mean, there's no point in giving a free program. So because we would definitely have no interest in such a program. So this is the fees that we have decided, wherein I'll be charging 600 rupees for the complete course if you're joining the online mode, and 1000 rupees for the offline mode. And the advantage that you will have is you will have personal training and attention. And the unique feature of a course is option to work on your current problem as a project, and live support will be provided for the same. And now it is over to you guys. If you have any question and answers, questions for me, I'll definitely, I'm willing to provide you answers for the same. You can either unmute yourself or you can drop your questions in the chat box.
Yeah, just as I said, like this is very informative session, and thanks for providing this session to us. Actually, I feel lucky to join the session. With my industrial experience of 15 plus years, I think this course is really useful for myself. If I see myself, working on the spreadsheets every day, but I don't know much about this VBA and other stuff. But I think I definitely recommend others and myself. I would like to join the course. Smith, thanks for arranging the session. I hope it's very, very, very useful for the freshers as well who are interested to make their careers in, this programming side, and it's a very bright future for everyone. Thanks for that, Mir. Thanks for the session.
Okay, thank you very much, Magdum, for your feedback. Anybody else have to say? As in, if you have any questions or if you have any feedback for me, you're welcome to share that with me. So shall I assume that we don't have any questions? Okay, Mohsen, do you want to say something?
Yes, yes. Actually, see, I am a beginner, so I want to pursue this as my career because I spend most of the time in BPO. So I want to know, like in offline mode, when are you, coming to Bangalore so that I can get trained over?
Okay, so Bangalore, I think I should be in Bangalore in November, but in the month of October, I will be in Hyderabad, and I will conduct this offline mode in Hyderabad. But
Okay.
yeah, so by November, I think I should be there. By end of October or beginning of November,
So,
I should be conducting another batch there.
yeah. How about the project? You said that if we have some projects, you will help with us,
Yeah.
but I don't have a project. So how will
No,
you?
see, if you don't have a project, then we will identify a project which will suit your requirements. We have
Okay.
a lot, I do have a lot of sample projects, industry grade projects, which you can work on. So
Okay.
we will mutually identify a project, and then based on our mutual interest, we can work on that. So I will definitely,
Sure.
assist you at
Definitely.
every stage. So that is a methodology that I'll be following, because learning is the way, if I just keep on teaching each and everything, you'll definitely forget it tomorrow. But the real way of
Yeah.
learning anything is by working on projects. That is very, very important.
Okay.
So this course will focus on that primarily. So this will be a more of a project based learning.
Okay. Fine.
Okay,
So
thank you
then
for
I
your
will
question.
wait. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, sure, you can wait.
What are the timings for online mode and offline mode in Hyderabad?
Um, for the online mode, I will definitely keep it in the evenings when once everybody is free. Um, so online, anybody can join. Doesn't matter if you're from Hyderabad or not. But for offline mode, I will like to stretch over the weekends. So I will keep it during the daytime. So 6 hours. 6 hours over the weekends. So in 2 weekends, I think you can finish off the course. So that is the schedule that I have decided for offline mode in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any plans of spreading your presence, Mayor, like other than Bangalore and Hyderabad? Like we have Vijayawada, Karnool, and other where there are a lot of engineering students and commerce students which are available, and they are looking for this kind of skills. So we don't have much faculty with the kind of experience you have, the industrial presence. So, is it anything you have in mind going forward? We can see you in these different cities, please.
Yeah, definitely. If there's a sufficient number of batch, if I can get at least 15 to 20 students in a batch, definitely I will. I'm more than welcome and happy to come over to that place and teach the students there. But I will definitely try to keep it finish it off within. I will try to stretch like 6 hours, 4 to 5 or 6 hours every day, and finish it off as quickly as possible. Uh, so that will be my schedule if it is from other cities.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, I have one question. What is the difference between the VBA and the general Excel and the Power BI?
Okay. Um, so Excel is a tool. I mean, it is a calculation tool, Excel, and this will actually help you perform. Just basic to advanced. There are a lot of advanced features in Excel, and it can definitely handle a lot of data. All right. So that is Excel. VBA is uh, uh, is actually used to program that particular the same Excel, and we can definitely achieve a lot of tasks which are normal, which you cannot do it in Excel. For example, uh, you have one particular calculation or in a particular spreadsheet, and you want it repeated by just changing one value, and you want it across 10 spreadsheets. Maybe you have 10 different clients and you want to do a similar calculation but by changing few parameters for 10 different clients. All right, so what do we do? It is very difficult to do that in Excel, but especially when your clients are changing. But if you use VBA, it is sort of very easy. You just have to program everything, and once you have your base template defined, you can replicate the same thing. Because you have your base sheet, so base calculation, you can replicate those calculations in 10 different sheets very easily in using VBA. And moreover, you will have a flexibility in options. You can change almost anything. So that is the power and advantage which Excel VBA gives you. Now, coming to the Power BI, I haven't worked on that tool, I won't be able to comment on that. So that is what my take is, because here we are focusing only on Excel. I think
Okay.
that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. One more question. I just wanted to know from you. Instead of VBA, I'm more into Excel. I'll need more training on Excel sheets only. So if you are planning to give that, then I'll be more happy to join the training.
Yeah, definitely. I think I will. I'm planning to launch such a course in due course of time, maybe by next month, maybe mid of next month. So advanced Excel would be the course. So I'll definitely keep you informed. So wherein where we use all these advanced features, the pivot tables, the charting, and those index match functions, arrays. So all those are very advanced features in Excel itself. So I'll definitely let you know. I'll keep you informed definitely.
Even for this course also, you said it is offline in the sense we need to come to the institute wherever you're giving the training.
Yeah, that's right.
Where is it exactly in Hyderabad?
In Hyderabad, it is in Attapur, pillar number 102.
Okay,
So
right.
you'll have to come over here on a weekend preferably, and we can quickly go through the whole course in 2 weekends.
Uh, okay, if it is virtual, then it will be taking 15 days, right?
Yeah, Yeah, see, again, it depends on your schedule. If you're happy to have it every day, which I find it very difficult for the participants to have it continuous mode. So I will, if I have alternate days, and it'll take a month to finish.
For virtual training, will it be available on weekdays? Sorry,
Yes.
on not on weekdays, off days like Saturday or Sunday, weekends.
Yeah, we can. I have given a thought to it, but the problem is I really don't think it is possible for anybody to sit in a training program, especially an online training program. It is because we are all getting affected by this online fatigue. Um, so I'll definitely we can, what we can do is we can have a hybrid program where maybe 1 or 2 days on weekdays, and weekends we can slightly stretch over maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then we can definitely finish it quickly within a month. So we can
The,
definitely
the
come up with it.
Yeah, the problem is that we'll be working on the weekdays from Monday to Friday. So it will be convenient for me, especially me, to attend these classes in weekends. So that's the reason why I'm asking. If it is not, then it will be a problem for me to cope up with that timing and this timing as well. So
Okay,
I'm
I
just
yeah,
curious to ask you that the timings, and if it is available, just let me know so that I'll join the course.
yeah.
And
Thank you
thank
very
you
much, ma'am.
very
I
much
will.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's my pleasure, and thank you very much for your feedback. It will definitely help me in organizing the course better. I'll definitely take your point into account, and I will come up with the schedule, and I'll keep you informed. Because I'm planning to start it on 1st of October, so I still have a couple of days left. I'll come up with a schedule, and I'll inform you all over
Yeah,
the
thank
schedule.
you so much. I just wanted to get into your knowledge because most of us, I think that most of us are working from because of this pandemic. Most of us are working from home, so it will be from Monday to Friday. So Saturday and Sunday will be free. So 1 or 2 hours we can spend it on this. That's the only thing I just wanted to let you know. If it is available, then just let me know so that I'll think of it, think of joining the course.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I
Thank
will
you so
definitely. I'll
much,
keep you
and it is
informed.
very informative. Yeah,
Okay.
please go ahead.
No, I think I'm done. Thanks a lot for your feedback, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. And then I think we don't have any other questions. So I, personally, thank you all for taking your, taking time out on a weekend, Saturday evening, and attending this session. Uh, I hope, you will join the course, and we can continue our journey further. All right. So that is all I have to say. Thank you very much, and enjoy your weekend. Stay home. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Ahmed.